Breaking news overnight. Former U.S. Attorney General Janet Reno has died. She was 78 years old. Joining me right now is John Ashcroft, the former Attorney General under George W. Bush. Attorney General Ashcroft, thanks very much for joining us.
Well, good morning to you, and it is sad news about Attorney General Reno. She was a person who was extremely industrious, a hardworking person. I invited her back to the Justice Department to speak to our leadership when I took over as Attorney General, because we wanted to make sure we captured any wisdom that she would offer for our opportunity to serve.
It is sad news, and I know that you succeeded Janet Reno in the AG's office. She served under President Bill Clinton. She had a front row seat to some of the major controversies in the administration, including Whitewater, including Monica Lewinsky. So our condolences to you and to all of her family and friends. What was her most important influence, do you think?
I think she was a veteran, long-term prosecutor. She had given her life to securing the safety of American liberties, and I think she's respected for that. She was a person who had an ability to focus and to work hard. She spent very long hours and was deeply involved in the department and is respected for her hard work.
Now, those liberties that so many of us sometimes take for granted could be in jeopardy this morning. And today, meaning today, the issues of the day that we're talking about every day. We had another bombshell yesterday from FBI Director Jim Comey at on the Clinton email controversy, when he said that he's clearing her for a second time in the email investigation. Now, Attorney General, you served, obviously he was your deputy. Jim Comey was your deputy. He also served as acting Attorney General when you were in the hospital. Do you agree with this decision? And tell us about James Comey today. What should we be thinking, given this decision now, just 9 days after he reopened it?
Well, it's not my understanding that he cleared her. My understanding is that he found her having violated a number of the laws, but saying that he would not choose to prosecute her. There's a difference between finding that someone's violated the law and saying that, well, we're not going to go ahead and prosecute her. And I think he reiterated that. One of the tragedies of this whole series of problems is reflected in the fact that this investigation was started in an effort to make sure that the law was applied in the same way at the top of the social order that it would be to anybody else, any ordinary citizen. And yet this case has just been marked by the extraordinary. No grand jury impaneled, significant immunities granted without any charges ever being filed, a whole variety of things, the resistance of the Justice Department in related matters like what is now a well-known Clinton Foundation investigation, the restraint of department leadership over the FBI. So, and then the last thing is, if you're supposed to believe that all of this is business as usual, it's not business as usual for announcements to be made on Sunday afternoon. Now, maybe this is mandated and required by the circumstances, but I believe we've found ourselves in a situation where the people at the bottom of the social order in the United States don't believe the justice community can protect them, and they believe that the people at the top of the social order are not subject to prosecution. Mm-hmm. And prosecution and protection are the two main functions of the judicial system, and we're going to have a hard time as a nation helping people develop a restored confidence in the justice system of the United States. We have a big job ahead of us because of all these anomalies that appear to be existing for someone based on the fact that the individual involved in breaking the law was at the top of the social order, not just one of the ordinary citizens of America.
Right. I mean, it is pretty extraordinary, and I'm glad you made the distinction, because it's very important for viewers to understand what's going on here. She has not been cleared in terms of the Clinton Foundation investigation. I guess that's ongoing, but what's your take in terms of how that plays out should Hillary Clinton become president? I mean, can they investigate the president?
First of all, she's not been cleared of wrongdoing in the other circumstances. It has been said that they do not recommend prosecuting her, but the clear finding of Director Comey was that the law had been violated. He just said that he didn't think it was appropriate to prosecute her, and that's a prosecutorial discretion that's being exercised outside the area of the prosecution, because the FBI is an investigative agency, not a prosecutorial agency, and Justice Department has sort of shifted its responsibility to make those decisions out of the ambit of the Justice Department over to the investigative agency. So this is a confused area, and normally the FBI does not decide whether prosecutions are to be made, and the Attorney General in this instance, who might ordinarily decide, had been compromised by her involvement with former President Bill Clinton in private meetings just at the height of the investigation. So we have all these anomalous circumstances that result in a dislocation of public trust as it relates to justice, and it's an unfortunate thing. Now, if she's elected, we'll have a very serious circumstance where a person who will be in charge of prosecution, the president ultimately is in charge of the Justice Department, can hire and fire the Attorney General and hire and fire all the prosecutors in the country.
Yeah.
The president also has a very pervasive power to pardon people. Now, would President Obama, were Hillary Clinton to be elected or win the election tomorrow, would he pardon her in advance before he leaves office? Or would he wait for her to be supervising the justice community as it would investigate further things that are totally related to her own existence and behavior and conduct? These are very, very serious questions.
These are just extraordinary questions, actually. And I just want to read the exact wording that Jim Comey wrote to Congress. He said, based on our review, we have not changed our conclusions that we expressed in July with respect to Secretary Clinton. That's the line. So you're right. It's quite vague, and it leaves the door open to further investigation here.